Clinton's counsel saying they've agreed to terms to testify to Congress as part of the House investigation of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. This comes after the former president and former Secretary of State fought subpoenas for 6 months, leading to the House threatening to hold both of them in contempt of Congress. Oversight Chairman James Comer saying not so fast. He is questioning their sudden willingness to compromise, saying, quote, the Clintons' counsel has said they agreed to terms, but those terms lack clarity yet again, and they have not provided dates for their deposition. Comer also saying he'll clarify the terms with the Clintons' attorneys and then discuss next steps with the committee. The couple has not been accused of wrongdoing, and both deny having any knowledge of Epstein's crimes. Later today, the man accused of spraying apple cider vinegar on Democrat Congresswoman Ilhan Omar during a town hall meeting in Minneapolis is due in court. The suspect is facing charges of forcibly assaulting, impeding, and intimidating Omar last week as tensions rise following ICE protests in Minnesota. If convicted, he could face up to 5 years in prison. The launch target for NASA's Artemis II moon rocket is being pushed to early March due to fuel leaks, cold weather, and communications issues. This comes after NASA carried out a fuel test and countdown rehearsal last night into early this morning. Artemis will carry 4 astronauts around the far side of the moon. Officials will hold a press conference today at 1 p.m. Eastern Time.
Is it true you were a crack cocaine dealer for 7 years?
I plead the fifth.
Tell us about the cartels you dealt with in your time as a crack cocaine dealer.
No, but I can tell you that I plead the fifth.
Wait, how much money did you earn in your time as a crack cocaine dealer?
I plead the fifth. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anything you say, fifth. Go ahead, ask me a question.
Did you...
Okay, good. All right, enough. Sorry about that. Sorry. It's a good one. I didn't know we could face swap Dave Chappelle with Bill Clinton. Is that a whiteface? Are we allowed to do that? Can you do that? Is that legal? You can make Dave Chappelle whiteface. Dave Chappelle did a racist KKK black guy, right? In one of his skits. Dave Chappelle has done whiteface, actually. Yes, often in the Chappelle show. Okay, very good. Approved, Jerry. Ding. We should do a meme approval at the beginning of every single show because Klein just needs one more thing to do. Okay, today is Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026. Man, we got a rocking good show for you today. Rocking good news as the Epstein files continue to rock Hollywood, politics, the entertainment space, and is having global repercussions all around the planet. There have been multiple members of Parliament and people inside of governments throughout Europe who have now resigned their position. Hey, Alex, could you get me a running tab? I know there's some in England, some in Sweden, and I'm sure many more to come. And let's just talk really quickly about, like, why isn't that happening here in America? It needs to happen here in America, as we demanded yesterday. Without prosecutions and without people going to prison, none of this has been worth the squeeze. It's got to happen. We've got to see actual prosecutions for the people in this list, and it must happen today, Junior. The Hollywood fallout from the Epstein files begins. It is becoming catastrophic. You can now see why so many Hollywood elites moved to Europe or to places where they prosecute these kind of things a little less. Some of them have just straight up disappeared. Very interesting. This will be a major moment when Bill and Hillary Clinton testify before Congress in a massive neck-snapping reversal. We'll cover that in just a moment. Chip Roy and Byron Donalds on the show. My name is Benny Johnson, and this is The Benny Show. Every single day, Americans make decisions to shape the way that this country will steer itself into the future, and Patriot Mobile should be one of those choices that you make. Everybody has a cell phone these days, and what most people don't realize is that Patriot Mobile isn't just a wireless provider. They're a Christian conservative company that sells top-tier cell phone service. The best part is that they deliver this premium service to you on all 3 major networks, and that means you are never out of coverage. We will be traveling tomorrow. Just want to give you guys a note on our show. We'll be traveling tomorrow, so I believe that we are going to perhaps not have a show tomorrow. We're trying to work on it. I really want to get Alex Jones on. I really just want to get Alex Jones to come on the program and talk about Epstein. So we're working on that, working on Alex Jones, and we're working on Mike Benz. They're very, very good on this subject. And so this is like the arena that we're hoping to crack into. And Liz Crokin and some of the people who've just been proven right about all of this. Actually, Alex, would you mind reaching out to Liz? Would you mind reaching out to Liz? We've been having some scheduling conflicts here. Would you mind reaching out to Liz Crokin? Just to see if she's around. Is Liz around? Boy, ain't nobody been proven more right than Liz. Sorry, this was supposed to be a Patriot Mobile ad. Go to the Patriot Mobile app. We're just talking about connectivity. And tomorrow, of course, we'll be traveling. Our Patriot Mobile devices will bring us to Nashville as we do some prep work for the Super Bowl halftime show. Klein, I want to talk about that in just a moment here with Kid Rock and with RFK Jr. So join us in Nashville. Will be a lot of fun. A lock and load. PatriotMobile.com will carry us there. Go to PatriotMobile.com/Benny. Call 972-PATRIOT and use the promo code Benny for a free month of service. PatriotMobile.com/Benny. Call 972-PATRIOT. Sorry about this. Yeah, today. Just see, ALX. Just see if she's available, if you don't mind. Liz. I've been wanting to bring Liz back on. She was so good during the Diddy stuff. Anyway. You want to give credit to the people? You want to give credit to the people who told you the entire time that a bunch of predator Satanists were running the country and they lost their careers for it. Many of them lost their livelihoods. Many of them were never invited back into polite society. And they got deplatformed and demonetized and destroyed. And some of them went to prison. And hot damn, did it all turn out to be right. You see the Jeffrey Epstein clip talking to Steve Bannon about Satan? Very interesting. Make sure that's locked up in this show. Very interesting stuff. Steve Bannon did a big, an hour and a half long interview with Jeffrey Epstein, where he was sort of coaching him. Anyway, we like Steve, so I would love to have Steve on the show to talk about it. Maybe that's another one. But ladies and gentlemen, we got a big win. And even though this broke late last night, it's worth a bombshell nuclear weapon because here we go. We got breaking news. The Clintons will be live talking about their Epstein crimes before Congress. Let's freaking go. We'll have more breaking news. Klein's we're getting a brand new stinger. We're improving on the breaking news stinger. I want the nuclear siren. Yes, aliens, right? Let's do aliens. Let's do Jeffrey Epstein getting blown up. Let's do all that. Because Jeffrey Epstein's still alive, obviously. Is that true? It's totally true. We covered it in the show yesterday. Is it true? Is he still alive? We know the Clintons are still alive. Barely. Because they're looking rough these days. In fact, everybody who's on the Epstein list is looking peaked. They're not looking good. Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton. I know I'm asking for a lot here. But producer Danny, could you please grab me some of those recent videos of Bill and Hillary? Bill is stumbling all over himself. Or Hillary can barely walk. This is not going to be great for them. They already have really bad health. I mean, Bill's wandering around with a defibrillator. There's all these photos of Bill Clinton rolling around. He got this giant defibrillator he's carrying with him. He's, we don't wish ill on anybody, but man, these two have lived an evil life. And here's Bill, having to walk around with a giant medical device. So this ain't going to be good for them. This ain't going to be good for them. Let me see that. What is this? A photo for ants? That's fine. It's good enough. You can see it there. Looks like a big old stereo, a little stereo from the 1980s. You just click on the article. Click on the article. You ever seen those articles? What is it? That's what I do all day when we're doing reads. Oh, Daily Mail Plus. It's time to get time to get a subscription to that. Anyway, Bill Clinton and his defibrillator. There you go. Nice. You can see it there. Ain't doing great. They ain't doing great. They're not doing well, and it's going to be, yeah, man, I don't know. I think it's going to be a rough one for the Clintons. They are now, I've never seen anything like it. They have now bent the knee. After doing this mewling, bitchy, angry, sneering, condescending letter that Bill Clinton wrote when he refused to testify. He published it on his X. Oh, I was like, how dare they? How dare they come after me? So I don't do a great Bill Clinton impression, but I'm going to give it my best shot. Here we go. It goes like this. All I did was sit in a hot tub with some of the Epstein victims. They only touched me a few times. I touched them. It was allowed under the desk in the White House. Well, I would call this Arkansas special. Nobody has to know. I have an agreement with Hillary, and she can feel my pain. Or maybe I could feel their pain. Or I don't know. Kevin Spacey said that there were little girls on the plane. That's true. There's photos. But I'm innocent. It's Trump. This is the Bill Clinton letter. It's Trump. It was Trump's fault. No, bro. It was right there. Yep. Oh, no, that's not it. You're so close, Klein. It's so maddening watching Klein like scroll through X. You click on Bill's profile. He only tweets like two or three things. Just click on Bill Clinton's profile right there. See Bill Clinton? Oh yeah, okay. Anyway, the point is that Bill Clinton released this mewling, angry letter, effectively lying, saying he never heard or knew anything about Jeffrey Epstein, and he never did anything wrong with Jeffrey Epstein. And then all the photos come out. And now Bill and Hillary, in a alarming and utterly shocking, frankly, shocking reversal, have decided to bend the knee. You ain't never seen anything like this. Now it is a matter of this is a matter of importance. Klein, the fact that we can't find this. Yeah, producers, get me. No. It's like 5 pages, like from Bill Clinton. Producers, get me the tweet, please. Poor Klein. It just drives me crazy when I watch Klein like searching for something that I know is just it's just sitting right there on Bill Clinton's timeline. ALX and Danny, this is your moment. This is ALX, I'm going to bring you on screen if you can't find it. I'm going to pop you on. This is something that we need right away. So Bill Clinton says he's innocent. Why wouldn't you testify then? There you go. Thank you. Thank you, Klein. Goodness. Did you find that, Klein? Yeah. I'm so proud of Klein. Look at Klein. Klein's doing the produce. Klein's doing the produce. Good for you, like Klein. Hustling. He was hustling. Klein was hustling. Oh, the comments are turned off. Isn't this amazing? Comments are on this? Oh, no, not on the left. No, dude. No, bro. Look at this. The comments off. Comments off. Well, no comments. No comments. These are the people that say that they love the First Amendment. Comments are off. Bill Clinton. It's not about right or left. It's about a ding dong. It's about my ding dong. That's what he says. That's what his tweet says. It's not about right or left. It's about right and wrong. Ding dong. Anyway, like look at this. Okay, a couple of things that like off the top of the head here. When you got cycle through this, please. When you gotta write when people are like, hey, you went to a pedophile island, and there's a bunch of photos of you in a jacuzzi with a bunch of like victims of sex trafficking, and like they're not wearing any clothes, and then there's photos of you on the plane not like with all these young girls in your lap, which all of this is true. There's photos of you shoving your face with a victim right here. There you go. You're shoving your face. You know, that looks bad. All right. Ain't no videos or photos of Trump like that. So that looks bad. So like, hey, Bill, since you were the president of the United States, we'd like to know that you're not a predator. We already know you're a predator. We'd like to know that you're not guilty of far worse than that. Okay. It's like obvious that Bill Clinton's a predator. It's like proven beyond a reasonable doubt. He admitted to it. Right? And so like a couple things off the top of the dome. We have every right to know, since Bill Clinton was literally in hot tubs with the guy and victims, what happened there? What was the extent of the relationship? Also, when you have to apologize and you have to explain things like this, if you can't just explain it in a tweet, when you have to write War and Peace about your innocence, like a War and Peace about like how you're not a predator, dude, you're losing, man. Bro, you're losing. If you can't just like brush it away, like, nah, dude, didn't do anything wrong. Well, if you can't just brush it away and you have to like go look at all this, look at this. Look at this. You know, it's amazing. Bill Clinton, click on the tweet, please. Bill Clinton has to write what is effectively like the book of numbers here in order to just swipe through the pages. Yeah. It has to like write all of these, like, look at how long, look at this thing. Oh, what is this? The budget? What is this? We just want to know if you're a predator. We just want to know if you're a pedophile. We would like, I think that like, as the American people who elected you twice, we would like to know that. The reason why we care is not just like because we're goblins here. It's because we can see the photos of you right here in the hot tub with the victims on your lap. That's what we see. And so that's enough for us to like ask the questions. And in case you're wondering, if you're explaining this much, you're losing. Here you are with the world's foremost pederast, wearing silky shirts, silky, bedazzled, zany shirts. We just like to know. It's our right, actually, as the American people, to know. Like, are we run by a pedophile cult? Is that true? Yeah, Klein's like, you know, it's teetering. You know, it's passing at this point. Passing. Look at this. Yeah, like, dude, we have a right to know. There's a chick. I don't think she's wearing any clothes. I'm not the expert on these things, but like, I don't think she's wearing any clothes. And here's Bill wearing, I don't know, no clothes, maybe, I don't know. But he's sure look cozy and comfy there. Could you imagine? No, bro, could you imagine if you got Trump, naked chicks, hot tub, victims, arms up? Enough. I'm just like saying that they're in a bad way. And so the Clinton saga here is going to be remarkable because the Clintons do not want to answer questions on Jeffrey Epstein. They were willing to go to jail for this. Things have gotten so hot and things have gotten so catastrophic for them on this subject that the Clintons, of all people, have said, okay, we give up. We're going to go into Congress and testify. We give up. We can't fight it anymore. Bill and Hillary Clinton say they will testify before the House Oversight Committee investigation into convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein and Bill Clinton best friend. Their decision reverses a long-standing refusal just days before lawmakers were set to vote on holding them in criminal contempt. Why did the Clintons do this? They knew that they would lose. They knew they would lose the contempt vote. 12 Democrats have already voted to hold them in contempt. Do you realize how serious this is for the Clintons? It is something, Klein says this a lot, the old are eaten by the young. The young eat the old. You know, these Democrats that are in office right now, these AOCs, they don't know anything to the Clintons. Clintons are like their worst enemy. The Clintons have been monsters to these people. We asked Tulsi Gabbard a little while back about the Clintons, and Tulsi Gabbard's like, they are the single most evil couple. She's like, I started to like say things that were just kind of questioning whether Hillary should run for president back when Tulsi was a Democrat, right, and serving in Congress. And Hillary got her banned on all news outlets. No one would do an interview with her. Suddenly, all these reporters, Hillary Clinton practically runs NBC News. All these NBC News reporters were like attacking her. Suddenly, the entire media ecosystem run by the Democrats are like attacking her. It's like this antibody reaction just for questioning the Clintons. This is how bad it is. This is how bad, and I think that stranglehold is starting to loosen. They're starting to lose it. Because now their acolytes, like all of those media, they're all like, Mandami, it's probably Jeffrey Epstein's son. Mandami, AOC. Do we have that in the show? That Mandami's Jeffrey Epstein's son? That is the funniest theory out there. It is one of the most interesting things. We covered it yesterday. It's so, I love it. I love it. Please let it be true. Please let it be true. Anyway, the Clintons are monsters. You already knew this. The reason they're doing this is because they realize that they've been thrown out. The young are eating the old in the Democrat Party. All these young whippersnappers, Ilhan Omar doesn't know anything to the Clintons. She hates them. She hates the Clintons. The Clintons, you know, they signed tax cuts and tried to reduce the welfare state and like went along with Republicans and did like good Republican things and tried to be centrist. They hate them. They hate that like class of globalists, right? The crony capitalist class of globalists. And I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of reason to hate the Clintons. And maybe we'll find out more when they testify. They will be testifying before Congress because they've lost the entire Democrat Party. The Democrat Party does not care about them at all anymore. Former President, Secretary of State, spent months rejecting subpoenas by Republicans. James Comer of Kentucky, committee's chairman. The Clintons have argued that their demands were not legally valid and accused them of using the investigation as a political weapon. Their position shifted as several Democrats in the committee, see what I was saying, joined Republicans in their prosecution, calling for their prosecution. It's a rare and dramatic escalation of what would have been an unprecedented move against a former first couple. Following that vote, lawyers for the Clintons contacted Comer on Monday evening, and confirmed that they will both sit for depositions. The dates they're working on the dates. They urged the committee to abandon its plans to proceed with the contempt vote. They negotiated in good faith. You did not, a spokesman for the Clintons said in a statement. They told under oath what they know, but you didn't care. The former president and secretary of state will be there. Oh, I love it. I love it. The Daily Mail goes hard here. Scroll down, please. The number of Jeffrey Epstein visits to the Clinton White House. Oh, boy. Look at this. 1993, 1994, 1995. Boy, oh, boy. What a series here. The number of Jeffrey Epstein visits to the White House. There you go. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 visits to the White House. 17. Goodness. Oh, and he's bringing women. Look at that. Unnamed women also visiting with Jeffrey Epstein. He's just bringing some chicks to the White House. I wonder what that was all about. You just gotta ask some questions. You know, it leaves the mind to wonder. Truly, one of the age-old mysteries. I know, Bill Clinton shoving his face full. A little piggy, being a little piggy on Jeffrey Epstein's plane with a Jeffrey Epstein victim sitting there in a scantily clad outfit, sitting there on some giant cellophane table. Goodness. Little piggy shoved his face full, and now he's going to get it. Now I'm going to get a face full of the congressional microphones, and that's what's going to happen. So this is awesome. We texted Jamie Comer. We said, what's up? You got to let us know when those Clintons are coming in. Klein, we may need to go up to D.C. just to see if we can yell a couple questions at the Clintons. Let me in. That's right. We don't have to do that. Like we'll get the pass, right? Like the Republicans are in Congress, they'll give us the pass, give us anything. Yeah. That's we should wear the Bill Clinton costume, right? We can both show up in swim trunks that it was in the jacuzzi. Yeah, yeah, that's right. We do the jacuzzi. We can wear those shirts. Danny, where are those shirts from? Danny knows fashion. Danny, where them shirts from exactly? Where are they from, Danny? Let's see if we can get ourselves some. Okay. Hollywood can come get some. I know that the Grammys were on Sunday, but the fallout for the Grammys has been absolutely catastrophic because old Nicki Minaj, a woman scorned, went scorched earth against the Grammys themselves. And these Hollywood elites are not sleeping well at night. I can tell you that for sure. I'm sleeping well. We'll get to that in just a second. My Helix Sleep mattress. It is a wonderful mattress to have in cold season. Very cozy, very warm, a perfect night's sleep for me, and I need my 8 hours of sleep, sometimes 9 hours of sleep. Kids are up and down all night because we got little ones, and you're just doing sleep training, right? Just is the way that it is. All of my kids are under the age of 5. And I got, 2 that are still in cribs. And so, you got to make sure that if you're going to be jumping up, right, in the middle of the night, taking care of kids, that you are able to fall right back to sleep. That's the value of the Helix Sleep mattress for me. And, well, the Helix Sleep mattress is the mattress of the Johnson household because these are the mattresses, my kids that are not in cribs, they sleep on the Helix Sleep mattress. The Helix Sleep quiz can help you get the right mattress, award-winning, free shipping, seamless delivery, and the Happy Helix guarantee, making sure that you'll never need another mattress again. So go to helixsleep.com/Benny, and you'll get 27% off site-wide. helixsleep.com/Benny, 27% off site-wide. Make sure you enter the show name after checkout. Let them know that we sent you. helixsleep.com/Benny. Hollywood not sleeping well. I find this amazing. So you have all of Hollywood sitting there in one room, and they decide that instead of attacking the people inside of the Epstein files, which Jay-Z is in the Epstein files, here's a good example. Jay-Z is in the Epstein file. They could have attacked Jay-Z, could have done a Jay-Z's joke. Isn't that interesting? Jay-Z is in the Epstein files. And this is exactly what we said about Trump, okay? All of these are just allegations until they're federally investigated. Jay-Z is in the Epstein files. Here's the document. You can see it for yourself. And, right, it is what it is. There's an accuser that says that Jay-Z and Pusha T, who's another rapper, they did some really bad stuff. It is not the first time that Jay-Z has been accused of this kind of stuff. He's been accused of this kind of stuff in multiple lawsuits. These are cases that are ongoing. This is the kind of stuff that has not been thrown out of court. Looks like judges are going to let these actions move forward. And Jay-Z's had a rough one. Jay-Z also, did start dating Beyonce and Aaliyah when they were quite young. People saying he signed Rihanna when she was 16. I don't know, man. I'm just telling you that he also did a dance with Marina Abramovich, one of the world's most renowned Satanists, and I guess renowned just because she works with the biggest artists and Democrat presidential candidates like Hillary Clinton and spirit cooking dinners. Marina Abramovich, don't look at her art, unless you have a strong stomach. It is truly evil. Why would Jay-Z be platforming and dancing with this woman? Why would he be making out with her publicly here? Why would he be promoting one of the foremost, most well-known Satanists on satanic performers, I guess you could say? Yeah, it's just look into it, dude. I mean, I don't know, man. It depends on how far down the rabbit hole you want to go. This lady would tie up Lady Gaga. There's photos and videos of them at these spirit cooking dinners. Oh, it's awful. Oh, it's terrible. Where they're eating human bodies. I think it's like a cake shaped like a human body. It's all blood everywhere. Oh, it's awful, dude. It's terrible. Anyway, Kanye warned us. Kanye said this is not Pusha T and Jay-Z. They're the ones lying to you. Isn't that interesting? Here we go.
If you take people like Jay-Z and fucking Pusha T, they made their living killing our people. So how the fuck they gonna stand up for our people? You know what I'm saying? But we forget that because we love Jay-Z's music so much. We love Pusha's music so much, right? But you think they would ever, Beyonce had the best for somebody else? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You think they would ever tell the truth? No, if they told the truth, they'd go to jail. You know what I'm saying? So you have liars. Man. Liars are now the face of our culture.
Liars. Well, all I'm saying is that they're named in the Epstein documents. That's it. I showed you the documents, and they're certainly not the only ones. I wonder why they don't get any coverage of this. Well, because the TMZ guy is named in the Epstein documents also, right? The guy who started TMZ Harvey, also named in the Epstein files, described as a good friend who could help run a global PR effort to defend the convicted pedophile. Oh, cool, man. Great. Wonder why TMZ is going so hard at Donald Trump and not at all at any of the other people named in the files. George Clooney is named in the Epstein files multiple times. One time, it had to do with interesting girls in Copenhagen. Another time, it's Jeffrey Epstein with a little winky emoji saying, I'm going to remind you about what George Clooney did last night. And then in other instances, Jeffrey Epstein is in Virginia Roberts' biography bragging about the sexual encounters that George Clooney has with Ghislaine Maxwell. I don't know, man. It's Virginia Roberts' biography. Take it up with her. Oh, wait, you can't because she was also suicided. Virginia Roberts found dead in the Australian outback by suicide after getting hit by a bus in one of the most remote places on Earth. Nobody ever explained who's driving the bus, why she got hit. She's in the hospital filming herself saying, I'm going to die, they're going to kill me, and then she dies of suicide the next couple days. Ghislaine Maxwell boasts about performing sex act on George Clooney, according to Virginia Roberts, who's not around to comment like when all of this is coming out, which, by the way, Virginia Roberts is the one who was the main whistleblower who actually brought all of this to light, who had to be convinced to come out of hiding and then shared all of this information with the world. And the royal family, or people connected to the royal family, they celebrated her death and sneered at it. Prince Andrew, of course, in these files, all over these files, Prince Andrew on all fours above some, like, what seems like a woman who's unconscious. Totally evil. Yeah, they're in the bottom of this article. Oh, too fast. Too fast. That's okay. So you can see, like, Prince Andrew in some of these emails squeeing about George C. at his movie premiere. I wonder who George C. is. I'm just reading you the files, okay? You can make any inference you want. But George Clooney is in these files. The founder of TMZ is in these files. Multiple left-wing billionaires are in these files. Jay-Z is in these files, okay? Also, Elon Musk and Donald Trump's names are in there. And as we have shown you, we have literally shown you all of the evidence. Like, they're like, nope, clean as whistle, right? That just is what it is. If you have some type of criminal evidence, some type of criminal behavior that President Trump is engaged in or Elon Musk is engaged in, then bring it forward, right? Of course they don't. Because if they did, they would have ended Trump's career before it got off the shot. But Donald Trump was the one who started his career on saying that Bill Clinton did evil things on Jeffrey Epstein's island. It's not something that a guilty person does. Oftentimes, a guilty criminal, if they still have functional brain cells, doesn't point you to their crimes. So it's like, why does Donald Trump start his entire political career off by telling us this?
Bill Clinton. Nice guy. Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island with Jeffrey Epstein. A lot of problems.
Wow, a lot of problems, huh? So after all of this, after the cesspool, the sick and despicable, who am I missing, guys? There's got to be other people. There's got to be other people. Who am I missing? You know, there's other like Hollywood celebrities that are in these. I mean, of course, Kevin Spacey's all over this stuff. He's a good one. There are various other rappers, singers, musicians, actors. But this is the choice of the Grammys to attack Nicki Minaj, who's not in the Epstein files. Who is in the Epstein files? Maybe some people in the literal audience there at the Grammys. As Ricky Gervais said, y'all had to come here on your own plane. So sorry, Epstein's dead, right? Stop booing me. He was your friend. Ricky Gervais says, get your little award, thank your agent and your God, and F off. Nobody needs to hear you speak. You spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. Here we go. Michael Jackson, Mick Jagger, Kevin Spacey, Diana Ross, Chris Tucker, Phil Collins, Minnie Driver, David Copperfield, to name a few others. Woody Allen, obviously, Alec Baldwin, and Zorhan Mandami's mom. That's a good one. Just one final little thing here. Zorhan Mandami's mom. So here's the theory, and it's amazing. The theory is that Zorhan Mandami is Jeffrey Epstein's son. Well, why are people thinking that? Let me just go down a really quick list here. This is not exhaustive, and I just think it's funny. But Jeffrey Epstein, according to these emails, had a secret child, a secret boy. Jeffrey Epstein was also friendly with Zorhan Mandami's mom, who was dating somebody named Epstein in the 80s. All I'm saying is that she was dating a guy named Mark Epstein, not Jeffrey. Okay, I want to be clear here. Mark Epstein is a photographer, totally different. But she was dating a guy named Epstein in the 80s when Mandami was born. Zorhan Mandami's mom is an avant-garde filmmaker who made creepy tantric sex films, like Indian tantric sex films. Pull up her IMDb here. Yeah. And her name's Nair. Nair. What's her last name? What's her? Mira Nair. Yeah, thank you. Mira Nair. And she made a film called what did she make? What's the creepy one that she made? She made a film called young people of a certain age, children of a desired sex. Here's the film. It sounds sounds like you're making it up. You're not making it up. Children of a Desired Sex. Zorhan Mandami's mom's film. Made in 1987. So it was related, and she has this this entire catalog of sex films that she made. So anyway, she's an absolute crackpot weirdo as well. Kind of woman that definitely raises a Marxist, raises a communist. And, she appears in the Epstein files. So she is in the Epstein files as somebody who was hanging out at Epstein's. Now, Bill Clinton was apparently at this party as well, according to the email. And so were some other Hollywood people. But she was there, and people were shocked that she appeared in the Epstein files. And now people are protesting outside of Gracie Mansion in New York. And this is the mansion of the mayor in New York. And they're screaming, Zorhan, we know your mom is in the Epstein files. It's true.
We know about your mom. Now listen.
Your mom, bro.
We voted for you, Zorhan. We advocated for you. Zorhan, we advocated for you. You ain't getting up and get up in there and lie.
Bro.
You lied, Zorhan. Shame, Zorhan. Shame. The first line was 6 Zorhan. Shame.
Well, there you go. I got to tell you, man. Couldn't happen to a better guy. So that's why people think that Jeffrey Epstein might be the father of Zorhan Mandami. He has a secret son, according to the emails. This was sent by Sarah Ferguson, by the way. She's the wife of Prince Andrew, so she'd know. Jeffrey Epstein was hanging out at some point with Zorhan Mandami's mom. They knew each other. See, here's the email. See it? There it is. Chilling out. We bring the receipts. And, you know, during the time, I can't believe it's real. During the time that Zohra Madami was conceived, she was dating someone named Epstein. Allegedly a different Epstein. So, there you go. That's amazing. Just amazing. This is like, I thought this whole like ritualistic breeding between the world's elites, like I thought that was just something that started and ended with Justin Trudeau and his dad, Fidel Castro. But I was wrong. Boy, was I wrong. Holy cannoli. Okay. Anyway, after all that, the Grammys decided to attack Nicki Minaj. Why? Well, because you got to put it up. I mean, this is just too. It's you just got to put it up. It's like I see it. It's too good. It's like so obvious. I just need Trudeau to grow a scraggly beard. That's all I need. If he grew a beard, he would look just like the same. The exact same. By the way, you ever seen Justin Trudeau's dad? Right? He's a dirty communist from Canada. And he loved to spend time with Fidel Castro. He and his swinger wife. They were both swingers. That's just a matter of fact. Rolling Stones have all these stories of like his mom and her at parties and stuff. Like it's been well reported. Anyway, like, yeah, oh, okay, got it. So Justin Trudeau's dad is like this short, bald, pudgy, wafy communist. And yeah, Justin Trudeau just looks just like Fidel Castro. That's all I'm saying. Is there any evidence of this? Well, Justin Trudeau was conceived, at least a rough timeline of when his parents were in the Caribbean, and his parents, who were politicians in Canada, communist politicians in Canada, were swingers, and they loved Fidel Castro. And there's photos of Justin Trudeau's mom with Fidel Castro. Those exist. She's like hugging him around the waist. And that's a matter of fact. So there you go. So that's why people think that Justin Trudeau is also Fidel Castro's son. So anyway, I'm not sure if you're a history buff or not, but that's why people are saying these things. The Grammys attack Nicki Minaj. So it's Nicki Minaj who's the bad guy in all this. Why? Because she decided to save Christians in Nigeria that were being butchered, and because Nicki Minaj has decided to side with Donald Trump that all kids born in America should be getting $1,000 Trump accounts. So making sure that we're investing in American children and saving Christians. Because she did that, now all of these people are attacking her like this.
Nicki Minaj is not here. She is not here. She is still at the White House with Donald Trump discussing very important issues. Actually, Nikki, I have the biggest ass. I have it. Everybody's saying it, Nikki. I know they say it's you, but it's me.
Cool. So funny. It's like everyone's laughing. Like the pre-canned laughter. Like, no, like it's not even a good Trump impression. Can we deport that guy, by the way, back to South Africa? Like, he's definitely not an American citizen. Can we just deport him? What exactly is his work status? He ain't working. Who's got his visa? What's his visa status? Can we ask that? We should ask that, DHS. We should ask that right now. We have good contacts at DHS. What's his visa status exactly? Oh, he does hold permanent residence. He works under a non-immigrant visa. Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, you know, you gotta ask these are important questions. Trevor Noah saying that Donald Trump went to Epstein Island. Here we go.
That is a Grammy that every artist wants, almost as much as Trump wants Greenland, which makes sense. I mean, because Epstein's island is gone, he needs a new one to hang out with Bill Clinton. So, oh, I told you it's my last year. What are you going to do about it?
Donald Trump says that he is going to sue the hell out of Trevor Noah for that. He's said it now many times because he said he never went to Epstein Island. And Trevor Noah says, what are you going to do about it? Well, I mean, you could sue CBS. You could sue Trevor Noah for saying those things. And it's time for Trump to hit back. And Trump said that this was going to backfire. He's been saying this for years. He started his political campaign on the idea that Bill Clinton was the one who was going to be destroyed by the Epstein files. And Democrats were dumb enough to release them. And now Bill Clinton's life is being destroyed by the Epstein files, but along with a ton of their other donors like Reid Hoffman, Peter Attia, Bill Gates, and so on. It's only Democrats who are having their lives ruined by this. I'm not saying this. You're going to have to point me to some like giant Republican figure. And don't tell me that Elon Musk sent him one email 10 years ago. That's not enough for me. Sorry, like it's not illegal to email someone, and that's not proof of a crime. A lot of people email a lot of people. It's not proof of a crime. So I'm not going to buy it. Trump ain't either. Trump's saying this is going to be a massive, massive, catastrophic backfire, and we're just getting started. Here we go.
We have other things to do because that whole thing has turned out. I mean, other than Bill Clinton and Bill Gates and lots of people that there are a lot of questions about it, but nothing on me. But it was even sort of better than that because they found that Jeffrey Epstein and this sleazebag writer named Michael Wolff were conspiring against Donald Trump to lose the election. So Epstein was conspiring with a writer for me to lose the election. So right there, you know that I had nothing to do with this guy. But yeah, it's a terrible thing. The amount of time that's being wasted. When Epstein was alive, like 10 years ago, nobody cared about it. But they're only doing it. But now it's really hitting back on them because Bill Clinton is such a big part of it. The Democrats are pushing it. And the problem is that it's turning out to be the Democrats that were with and conspired with Epstein. So I think you're probably going to see a little pullback from them. But think of it, they were working together to try and help me lose the election. But this is the Oval Office, so I guess that didn't work out too well.
Trump's been saying it. And this is what he means by hoax. This is what we mean by hoax. We unpacked this when Trump said it this summer. We were right. I won't be defending the way that the administration has handled these files. I think that it caused unnecessary collateral damage. Why not? You're releasing all of them anyway. Just release them. Just release them. And let the chips fall where they may. And that's exactly what's happening right now. Speaking of chips, ladies and gentlemen, we have Chip Roy, who is ready to rock and roll on the show today. Chip Roy, the great congressman from the state of Texas, now, ladies and gentlemen, running for a higher calling, attorney general. Well, we very much look forward to that because I think Texas has quite a few problems. We want to talk to Congressman about it. Joining us live right now, Chip Roy. Congressman, what's going on, man? Congratulations, by the way, on a great campaign. I've seen the SAVE Act rolling through. It sounds like we have some breaking news on that, and you've been one of the champions for it. So, can you give us an update?
Hey, Benny, great to be on. And thanks to your team, by the way. We've had some technical difficulties at my end, so I appreciate it. And great to join you stepping out of the Judiciary Committee here. Like, we've been trying to advance the SAVE Act for a while. And if you let me level set for a minute, because I think people might get confused. 2 years ago, I worked with Cleta Mitchell, a great election lawyer, a lawyer to President Trump, expert on these topics, and Stephen Miller to draft the SAVE Act. We focused narrowly on citizenship, and that's the data, that's purging the rolls, showing ID when you register to vote, all for federal elections for purposes of guarantee that only American citizens vote in American elections. All right, so that was point one. We passed that out of the House. Chuck Schumer blocked it in the Senate, effectively, right? We had a vote, he killed it. Fast forward, we still have the SAVE Act. We've passed that again in the House this Congress. That's good. But we have been wanting to move a federal voter ID piece, right? So President Trump wanted that. I wanted that. Mike Lee, my Senate, co-author of the SAVE Act. So we added federal voter ID. And we added that component into a bill that we're now calling the Save America Act. We have that in the House. We have that in the Senate. So we think we ought to move that House bill and send that over to the Senate and then force the question. In the meantime, they've been doing great work in pushing to try to whip the votes in the Senate. There are currently 50 senators who are on board with moving the SAVE Act forward.
Wow.
Why is that important? Because that guarantees that if Leader Thune were to force the question on the floor of the Senate and demand that if Democrats want to stop it, that they have to speak in a speaking filibuster, then we could force having that fight on the floor of the Senate rather than just letting it die under the so-called 60 vote. I call it fake filibuster. Mike Lee calls it the zombie filibuster threshold.
So you think that this is actually going to finally hit the Senate floor? Will it be happening soon? Will it be happening before the 2026 election? You know, the clock is ticking.
So number one, Senator Thune has said he wants to bring it to a vote. But in my view, and I've said this publicly, that's not good enough, right? Because he can bring it to a vote and it die if you're going to have the threshold be 60 votes. I think where we are now is that the president has been demanding. A number of House members have said, look, we're going to make nice and we're going to move this appropriations bill this year, this week, that funds government. But we're doing it reluctantly. There's a lot of things in the bill we don't love, but we're trying to move it forward, hold spending relatively flat, in order to try to help the president and keep everything moving forward. But we want pressure being applied by the House and the White House on the Senate to force this question, try to get this to a vote at 51 votes. So we are told that Leader Thune is amenable to doing that, but there's no guarantees. We're going to have to keep the pressure up. Right now, we have sort of vague promises that they're going to bring it to the floor. We need to force the question. We need to get Majority Leader Thune to bring this to the Senate floor. But here's the trick: for Thune's sake, he's got to have all 50 Republican senators join him on the floor. You've got McConnell, Murkowski, and Collins, who have refused to yet say whether they'll support the SAVE Act. So we need all of the ones who have said they will, plus Thune, to join them on the Senate floor, to force the question. And the way that works is they'd be on the floor, they'd call the question, Democrats would be sitting there, and if they're speaking, they have a right to speak, but they have to keep speaking. They have to keep speaking indefinitely. And so if the 50 senators that are Republicans are on the floor demanding a vote, once the Democrats break speaking, then we can force the vote.
So wait a second. So what this would look like then to the rest of America is exactly what we've been talking about for quite a while, which is to shove their face in it.
Yeah.
Like, make them eat their own words, because this is something, and let's put up the recent polling from CNN of all places. This is something that is beloved by the American people. You're talking an 80-20, 90-10 issue.
Correct.
Oh, what is that just with MAGA voters, Ben? No, dude. This is with all black voters, all Latino voters, all white voters. You are above the 80-10 issue. And so, like, you're going to get Elizabeth Warren and Cory Booker up there with his, like, wavy arms, speaking out against what are we getting here, Chip? Voter ID? Like, only citizens should be able to vote? That's it? They're going to, like, piss their pants over that?
So I actually think this is a win-win. My argument for Leader Thune is, look, number one, your point, Benny, this issue or these issues poll way off the charts. As you point out, 85, 82, 76, overwhelmingly popular, bipartisan across the board. So number one, we're winning the issue. Number two, that means Democrats are going to be on the opposite side of that. And if we force them to have to do a talking filibuster, they will literally be on the floor of the Senate with all eyes of America on them,
yes,
with them saying, we don't want that to happen. Now, remember when we had the speakers fight 3 years ago and 20 of us were on the floor and we're taking arrows because we wanted to force changes in the House? Remember how many people were watching it? You were watching it. Everybody was watching it. What's going on?
Right.
That's what we want here, to force the question in the Senate, because then all those guys will be up on the floor. What are you fighting for? To stop that only citizens vote? To stop federal voter ID? Most people want that.
Yeah, like what exactly would be the counter argument? I try to do this all the time. We do debate shows, I try to do this all the time. Like, what exactly is the counter argument here?
Well, they will say, I think it's a lie. They will say that we're going to be preventing women from voting. We're going to make it difficult when they go to register because they've got new marriage, a new name after they got married. They're going to say,
shut up. That's going to be their best argument.
Yes, that's it. That's their best argument. They're also going to say voter ID is racist, which is absurd. And by the way, you just showed the data that people of all, backgrounds and skin colors believe that we should have voter ID.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. According to CNN. So it's like, why it's a wild L that they're going to take on this. Okay, so So, Congressman, you never come on here and lied, so give us like the over-under. You think that this could technically pass the Senate with 50 votes plus J.D. Vance?
Well, you asked me to give you the over-under. I'm still concerned that we've got to get the leader to bring it to a vote and that he would be able to have all 50 Republicans sit with him on the floor. But I believe that if the people demand it, if the president's demanding it, and if the House keeps pushing it on them, that we can force them to get there. Mike Lee's done great work. I think Leader Thune is feeling the pressure. Look, and there's been a lot of effort on this, and I think we're close. But over-under, I still say it is less likely than it is likely that we're able to move it through because people then Nastasius in the Senate that they won't want to do this because they'll say we're going to disrupt the Senate norms of the filibuster. I say you're embracing the actual original rules of the Senate. This fake threshold of 60 has got us in a box, and we end up losing on that. Democrats passed Obamacare using, reconciliation, and they end run the 60 votes. And we're sitting here with the majority in the House, the Senate, and President Trump wanting to save America, and we're not getting it done. I think the pressure is on us to deliver, and I think John Thune holds the key. If he'll do it, I think we can win. But it's up to Thune to put it on the floor of the Senate.
Call John Thune. Demand voter ID, paper ballot, same-day voting, proof of citizenship. These should be the kind of things that you already have baked into a functional democracy. In fact, every single democracy on earth has these things. None of them vote the way that we vote, which is total chaos and guarantees fraud. And so make sure that you are calling Senator Thune and politely demanding that this vote go forward. Chip, I want to give you perhaps your opportunity here to speak directly to John Thune.
Well, look, I think Majority Leader Thune knows this is the right thing to do. I think that he is allowing a handful of members to hold them back from being able to go be aggressive and do what they need to do to save America. My plea to Majority Leader Thune is you can protect the Senate institution as the cooling saucer by still keeping the filibuster, but let's take us back to a talking filibuster that you have to go earn. Don't keep this artificial threshold at 60 that's preventing us from being able to get. Now, by the way, I recognize what that means, that we Republicans, when we're in the minority in the Senate the next time, we're going to have to show up and demonstrate our commitment to speak out against whatever it is. Maybe it's DC statehood. Maybe it's packing the court. Maybe it's whatever they try to do by doing this. But I think we can muster that and fight it. If we can't, we're going to lose anyway.
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly right. Republicans need to finally game theory a little bit.
Yep.
Okay, so you've game theoried correctly. You were just on the Judiciary Committee. You game theoried correctly with the Clintons. Okay, now the cat's out of the bag. The dog caught the car, Congressman. Now the Clintons are coming in to testify with Jamie Comer in the Oversight Committee. What are we going to see there?
Well, interestingly, and you may have more news than I do because I've been in meetings this morning. I was with Jamie Comer last night. He feels very good about what's going on. Now, we were in the Rules Committee about to pass the rule that would have held them in contempt when we got a letter from them that Jamie Comer and his lawyers went and pulled aside. So we pulled off our contempt vote for the time being while Jamie's negotiating with them precisely on what the Clintons will do if they come forward and engage in a deposition and go forward and honor the engagement with the Oversight Committee. So I still need to talk to Jamie to know what exactly they've agreed to. Last night, he was bullish that they had moved the ball down the field and we're going to be able to have a real engagement and sit down and have a real deposition. But that I still need to get the details as to whether they did that. If they won't, then we're going to bring it back and we're going to pass the contempt motions on the floor of the House. We paused that on the last night because the Clinton lawyers had gotten back in touch with Jamie and said, okay, we'll come talk. But I don't know if they've negotiated that fully as of right now.
So you think that they're just trying to play games? They're trying to play Clinton games. And if they do F around, they will find out.
That is my belief. Okay, what Jamie told me last night was they're either going to sit down and do this real with the real questions and come up and do it, and that's a big deal if we do that. Okay, that is a big win and a big deal if they've negotiated that. If not, then we will hold them in contempt. We will find out. I mean, look, it's up to Jamie and the lawyers to go figure out what the Clintons are going to come forward and do.
So you guys have better do this quick. Because if they're like, oh, no, don't worry, it'll be next November. That's when we're available. And now we're sick and we have COVID. You know that's what's going to happen.
Right. I think the agreement now is part of what was being discussed last night. And again, I don't want to speak for Jamie or his team. But what was being discussed was specifically sitting in the Rules Committee last night. We were about to go do it. They sent us that letter at 6 whatever. That tells you, pressure. We go forward, we lean in, they're going to have to respond. And they do not want us to hold them in contempt. It raises lots of questions about the Clinton Foundation. It opens up a whole lot of avenues for us to go look at a lot of things. So they need to come forward, be honest about everything. They don't look, by the way, the Clintons said, oh, all the Epstein files, release everything, do all right, let's go talk. If we want openness, let's go talk.
Bro, like I'm telling you, I mean, it's been wild. I've never seen the Clintons take an L like this. And Trump beats her fair and square in 2016. She didn't take the L, right? They immediately plotted to assassinate the guy. Clintons don't just straight up admit loss. They don't like adhere to pressure. It's been remarkable. It's been one of the most successful. We've been just glowing about it this morning. One of the most successful political strategy operations I've ever seen. You said this would open them up to the Clinton Foundation. So what do you mean? Like you like if they're held in contempt, then it's like what else are they hiding? Why are innocent people fighting a subpoena so hard? Is that what you're saying?
Well, all it means is that we can go follow the money. We can go look at some things in ways that we wouldn't otherwise look into. And I think that's something they're aware of, right? If they're held in contempt, that opens up a number of different avenues. And so right now they want to avoid that. And look, if they'll come forward and lay everything out according to the engagement that Jamie Comer laid out in terms of following through on the subpoena and showing up for a deposition, then they can do that.
So, but I mean, I would love to see the Clinton Foundation looked into.
Well, we should always
don't tempt me with a good time.
Follow the truth wherever it may lead, and we should investigate whatever we need to investigate. My point, though, is we've got them right now where they recognize that being held in contempt, right? You would be not a positive for them. So that's why that pressure matters. And that's a message to Republican leadership. We have got to fight, right? We always, back down. Democrats come after us with the full fury of putting, Americans in jail for carrying out their faith at abortion clinics using the FACE Actor in wake of January 6th. They have 1,000 people in jail. They freaking arrest President Trump. They go after a bunch of people, in the administration. And we're sitting here and we're trying to figure out, can we get a few arrests on Antifa in Minneapolis, right? Can we go after the Clintons and get the truth of what's happening here with all of the abuse that we're concerned about? Looking at all the fraud of all the money we just saw coming out of Minneapolis. When are we going to arrest people? Like, the American people are looking for that. They want to see action. I do believe Jamie Comer's doing a great job exposing. Like in the House, we can only do so much, right? We don't have arrest power, right? So we're pushing and encouraging the Department of Justice to go. Again, we're not looking to go make stuff up. We want them to follow the truth wherever it may lead, but follow the truth and expose it and go after these guys with the same force they go after us.
So just final question here, Congressman. You're talking about the force that you want to go after the Clintons on. Maybe you could ask about the force that Bill Clinton, was using here when he was in the hot tub with a Jeffrey Epstein victim, and what the hell was going on? Like, would you ask him this?
Well, look, I think this is at the center of everything, right? I mean, the reason the American people wanted to see the truth exposed on the Epstein files is this right here. Okay, this picture I'm seeing on the same split screen is they see the powerful exploiting the more vulnerable.
Correct.
And they want to see some consequences for that. And they want to be able to see the truth exposed. And, look, whatever deals have been cut, whatever deals were cut in the past, like the American people are like, look, we want to know the truth and what happened. And these young women, it's obviously we've had, some kill themselves. We've had women that have had to, their whole lives upended. The rich and the powerful have got to be held accountable. And this is at the center of it.
That's right. Well, thank you, Congressman. Obviously, this is wonderful news. We never thought that the SAVE Act would even come this close. And so we will continue to push. Everybody follow Chip Roy.
Pushing.
Yes, everyone follow Chip Roy. 500,000 subscribers here on X. And a man who is going to do great things in the state of Texas. Thank you. Thank you, Congressman.
Thanks, Benny. God bless.
God bless you. So Chip Roy was there joining us, has a heart out. Obviously, he's jumping from committee to committee to vote to committee. Cool. I forgot about the Nicki Minaj tweets. What I mean is that, like, we just needed to get to Chip Roy, and I was going to talk about the Nicki Minaj tweets. Nicki Minaj, who trended higher than the actual Grammys, talking about the Grammys being a satanic ritual. Oh, got it. Hey, everyone, watch our satanic ritual. Is that why they always bring, is that why they always bring Satanists to these things? You ever found it weird that Ice Spice wearing an upside down crucifix sitting at the Super Bowl right next to Taylor Swift? But like Taylor Swift brings in someone who's, you know, very, very hedonistic, sit right next to her, knowing that the cameras of the world will, of course, be trained on Taylor Swift for half of the Super Bowl. This happened 2 Super Bowls ago. You can see it right here. Yeah. Like what, you know, they have to do these demonstrations. And Nicki Minaj called them out. As they do their ritual tonight, says Nicki, God Almighty will reveal himself to them. The ritual will backfire on them. God will not be mocked. Blessed be the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Every tongue that rises up against me in judgment shall be condemned and put to shame. Watch. And she has a little wand and some sparkle there. And she wasn't done yet. Y'all understanding that these people have been sacrificing children as a way of gaining and maintaining power. Woof, woof. If you ever vote a Democrat again, you're just as soulless as they are, and you're going to perish. Maybe it's time for me to do some story times, since I was trying to not say what I know. Yet they continue to attempt to bully me. Also, I won't be releasing an album until my contract is renegotiated, and tell you about it and sabotage with this Rico and Billboard. She posts a photo of Jay-Z with some very questionable life decisions. Trevor refuses to come out of the closet when everybody in the industry knows he has a boyfriend, says Nicki Minaj, allegedly. And here we go. Nicki was right about everything. She continues to post the Jay-Z image. And she continues to post more Jay-Z images, what the F. And then she posts just a photo without any explanation of Jay-Z and a young man who looks like Jay-Z. Welp. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's right. Here, that's a good one. Yeah, thank you. It does act like Nicki, just go full Trump. Just to do it. Just go full Trump. Yeah, totally pulls it off. Totally. Okay, well, Nicki Minaj, not to be trifled with, went totally scorched earth against all the people in the Epstein files that were attacking her. You could say that Nicki Minaj went gold. Went gold. Went gold. Speaking of going gold, ladies and gentlemen, join us in the golden era with Advantage Gold. Advantage Gold is your gold and silver company that's been kind of, you know, ups and downs, right, in the market. Things have been a bit shaky. Make sure that you're investing in things that have held their value for a very long time. This is where people get sideways on speculation. Frankly, if you just go gold, I'm telling you, this is just from personal experience, that it is really comforting to have something that has withstood thousands of years of assaults on markets and booms and busts and collapses. I like having gold in my portfolio. That's all. Advantage Gold is my company. Text Advantage Gold. Text Benny right now to 85545. 85545 right now. That's BENNY to 85545. You'll instantly get a gold investment kit. Gold Rally, ladies and gentlemen, is one for the record books. Text Benny to 85545 right now. Turning Point is doing a star-studded lineup of Super Bowl halftime show. Bad Bunny Backlash. Whoa. Bad Bunny, by the way, giving political speeches at the Grammys. A preview of what's to come. Do we have Bad Bunny at the Grammys? I did want to say, out. No human is illegal. And we are on stolen land. Do you know that's like, you know you can't have it both ways? Like, have you ever thought about this? Did you guys ever think, Ricky Gervais was right. You've spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. Like, if no human is illegal, then nobody owns any land. Then all humans can just wander wherever they want. We're on stolen land. Well, being on stolen land means someone owns it. They could tell you to get off of it. They could tell you you're not allowed here. You're on stolen land. What do you mean exactly? So stupid. So dumb. They don't think through these arguments at all. Which one is it? Does somebody own the land or not? Are we on stolen land or not? Or is no human illegal? You can't have them both ways. But they literally, in their speeches, they say those same things. It's the sign of people who have like pathological thinking. To be able to hold two competing thoughts in their mind at the same time that are countervailing, that's a psychosis. It's a pathology. It's like, it's sociopaths. Like, this is the sign of a sociopath. And hold like, dude, the sun is hot, but the sun is cold. Like, it, you know, breaks your brain. No. This is like Billie Eilish. It's a good example of this. She owns this like multi-million-dollar mansion estate with guarded walls, you know, guards, and it's a huge estate, high tower, big living, $14 million mega mansion. And she's sitting here saying that we're all on stolen land. There are now campaigns to have like Native Americans show up and pitch a teepee on her house. Okay. That'd be fun. We would love to live stream that. Turning Point USA will be live streaming star-studded Super Bowl halftime show. Who are they going to get? Let's go ahead and look. Kid Rock. We're going to be hanging out with Kid Rock tomorrow. Kid Rock. They also have Brantley Gilbert, Lee Bryce, Gabby Barrett. And we hear some rumors of potentially other interesting Hollywood celebrities, artists, and so on showing up. It's going to be a great halftime show. The NFL is promising that Bad Bunny won't get political. We promise. Roger Goodell out today. We promise. Yeah, right. Okay, here's Bad Bunny. Literally yesterday in his speech. Go.
Before I say thanks to God, I'm gonna say eyes out.
I love that, like, that's what he says before saying thanks to God. Good job, dude. Great, because that's like more important than God, right? Got it. It's like straight out of Central Casting, man. Okay. Central Casting, ladies and gentlemen. We have Congressman Byron Donalds, locked and loaded, ready to go. Let's rock with the Congressman, soon to be Governor of Florida. Let's go. What's up, man? Okay, so you gonna be watching the Bad Bunny halftime show? You know, I know you like football.
Nah, probably not. You know, after they did, you know, Snoop and Dr. Dre, I'm kind of good on the halftime show. Okay. Snoop and Dr. Dre was good, man. That was a great halftime show. When they put up these other people,
HHS says they're going to be doing ice raids at the Super Bowl, which I think is great. You know, honestly, I think it's great. Yeah. I think it's a good. I think it's a good troll. What's up? What's up, Congressman? Okay, they're pretty busy these days in the House of Representatives. There's like a lot going on. Clintons say that they're going to testify. What are you going to ask Bill Clinton? What are you going to ask Hillary?
Well, I can't tell you that because you know the Clintons are watching everything. That's Look, right. I'll believe it when I see it. The Clintons are masters at stonewalling. They're masters at trying to suck up time. The biggest thing they're trying to do is they hope that Republicans lose the House and they never actually have to come in. Because a funny thing will happen. You know, let's play this forward. First of all, do I think Hakeem Jeffries is going to be the next Speaker of the House? No, I don't. But let's say in bizarro world that he actually was. Do you think he would call in Bill and Hillary to testify about Epstein? No, they wouldn't do that. The Democrats are just playing games. They're playing politics per usual. Bill and Hillary don't want to come in. And so they're playing these games of, well, we promise we're going to come in and interview. Just give us another week to fill out this form. This is the game that they play. The House, we should just move forward and hold them in contempt. That's what we should do.
Really? So you think this is just something like, oh, we promise we'll come in November and we have COVID. So sorry. Like, you think that's what they're trying to do? He was
I
like,
said, it's just
they're just
they're
lying.
stalling, man. Stall tactics.
Bro,
from
the
Bill and
Clintons have never
Hillary.
lied.
I don't believe it.
Clintons have never lied. You know what I mean? Like,
it's all a matter if you know what the definition of is.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Then
So you're saying like just go with it. Just hold them just hold them in contempt.
Look, I think Leader Scalise put them on the shot clock, so they have 45 minutes to go or something like that. I think as of right now, they have to fill out their form that they're coming in. If they don't do that, hey, put the measure on the floor. We have Democrats in the Oversight Committee who voted to hold Bill and Hillary in criminal contempt. Yeah. So I think you'll have bipartisan support on the floor of the House of Representatives. Let's go ahead and do that. They could have come in and testify already. It would have been a very cordial. They would have got the nice, comfortable leather chairs to sit in. They could have had their attorneys present. They could have answered any questions. They could have pled the fifth to their heart's content. They could have done all that, but they decided that they were going to play hardball, and we're not playing these games. Come in and testify. You've been subpoenaed.
We have some of these very interesting photos of Bill Clinton with Epstein victims in his lap on private jets, Bill Clinton in hot tubs with Epstein victims. I know that Jamie Comer has put up some of these photos. Bill Clinton in the Spy Who Shagged Me velour outfit with the world's foremost pederast. You know, it's amazing. So much talk about Trump and the Epstein files. No photos exist like this of President Trump. 0 photos exist of Trump and Epstein, barely at all, but certainly none with Trump in a hot tub with the Epstein victims, with no clothes on. And so what are you going to ask? You going to ask him about this, Byron? Did you ask him about this?
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, like I told you, Benny, I can't really put out the question list because then that gives them an opportunity to prepare. Sure. And I don't want them to be prepared. I want them to have to deal with the questions as they come. So maybe we might get into that. I'm quite sure somebody's going to ask those questions. But look, let's be very clear about the release of the Epstein files. Number one, to the survivors of Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein, and all these other people, my heart really does go out to them because they were victimized in a way that's just very disgusting and distasteful. Number two, I think it's important to note that the Democrats, they were in full control of this government for 4 years. They could have released these files whenever they wanted to, and they did not. They chose not to. It was only until Donald Trump came back to the White House that the Democrats started caring about the Epstein files. And so I do find it interesting that now Bill and Hillary are using stall tactics and not have to come in and answer questions when it's clear that Bill is littered all through these files and all through the pictures.
What about other people? We're seeing quite a few names pop up. Bill Gates is one. Would you call in Bill Gates to Congress? I mean, boy, that guy had a really cozy relationship. According to Jeffrey Epstein, very, very cozy. Some pretty remarkable claims by Jeffrey Epstein about Bill Gates, STDs, Russian hookers, and so on. Is it time to call in Bill Gates?
I think so. It might be, but we'll see where the investigation goes now that the files have been released. I think the big thing is that the files actually coming out. Number two, if there is any additional action that's going to be taken by the Department of Justice or any AG around the country, I think that's going to be the second step in this. But while we continue to do that in the Oversight Committee, we have not lost focus on what's happening in Minnesota with their fraudulent issues and what now is starting to be reported coming out of California as well. So it's going to be a very busy year in the Oversight Committee. There's a lot of things that we have to get to the bottom to, Epstein being one, but we haven't lost sight of the other stuff as well.
A lot of Epstein's crimes occurred on Florida soil. You're running for governor. You're leading in the polls by a country mile. As Florida governor, would you be taking any action to prevent something like this from happening again on Florida soil? I mean, listen, what happened, the true crimes of Jeffrey Epstein can be summarized in the fact that the federal government had him dead to rights for the rest of his life. They could have put him in jail in 2006, 2008 when they brought those charges. He pled guilty to all of them. They just let him walk. And that's truly one of the worst things I've seen our federal government do a lot of bad things. We wouldn't even be having this conversation, Congressman, if the federal government had done their job and actually prosecuted Epstein and put him in jail for the next 80 years, which he belonged to be in prison. Instead, they let him walk. And, Alex Acosta is told he belongs to Intel. Let him go. So what's that about?
That's something, to be blunt, that's deep state stuff. Even I'm not privy to that. I will say, though, going forward to the point of your question, in Florida, we are not going to tolerate anybody breaking our laws, especially those who are victimizing young women. We are not going to tolerate that. You're going to be held accountable to the fullest extent of the law. That's not just me. That's our attorney general, top to bottom in Florida, our sheriffs, our state attorneys. We will be holding all of these types of people fully accountable to the fullest extent of the law. Because if you can't even protect young girls from being victimized, then what are we talking about here? Everything else goes out the window. And so that's just going to be the standard in the state of Florida. It's standard today under Governor DeSantis. It will remain the standard under Governor Donalds.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything that could be looked into further from a state level on this, from the state of Florida?
I think it's definitely possible. I mean, look, I'm not an attorney, so that's something where the Attorney General's office, they'll have to look into that and see if there's anything further that should occur, and I would have my full support.
Yeah, good. Okay, sweet. What about Congressman? What about the SAVE? You got the SAVE Act, man. Like we've been trying to beat the pavement for it and trying to pressure the Senate. It looks like we might actually get there, but it's a little shaky right now. Obviously, Thune. We had Chip Roy on. He gave us a sort of landscape update. What is your sales pitch to John Thune to actually like bring this to a question on the floor?
This is the easiest thing we could do on behalf of the American people, making sure that Americans are voting in our elections, making sure that states have to verify this. This is not hard stuff. And I would actually add to Leader Thune that this definitely should be a talking filibuster on this. Let Senate Democrats go to the well of the United States Senate and debate why we should not protect the voting franchise of the American people. If the Senate can't do that, then the Senate is truly broken. And people always talk about Congress is broken, nothing ever gets done. And I will tell you, Congress is broken. I've served here the last 5.5 years. I can attest to that. And one of the biggest reasons is because the Senate filibuster stops real debate and stops real negotiations. If Elizabeth Warren, if Bernie Sanders, if they think Amy Klobuchar, who I guess wants to run for governor of Minnesota now, if they feel so strongly that you don't need a voter ID to cast a ballot in America, then make your case on the floor of the Senate. Leader Thune, that's what should be happening. These Democrats should not be able to just hide in their office and withhold their votes on moving forward. They should have to go to the floor and debate and actually make their case to the American people. But the reason why, if he actually went to a talking filibuster, you would see no filibuster, is because the Senate Democrats and Democrats writ large cannot make a coherent case as to why we should be requiring voter ID in the United States of America. Benny, you need a voter ID to check into, you need an ID to check into a hotel. Yeah. You need an ID to get on a plane. You need an ID to go to a liquor store. You need an ID to do so many things, open a bank account, but you don't need an ID to vote? That's just crazy. The American people know it's crazy. John Thune, it's time to step up and the filibuster for voting rights for the SAVE Act in America. Let's get this done.
Bro, the filibuster, the talking filibuster wouldn't work because Mazie Hirono can't speak English. We all know this. And there would already be a really tough role for them. But I would love to see. I'd love to see her try. You know, it'd be neat. Okay, final question for you. I know you got to run. Final question for you. Yeah. So we have a real problem in the state of Minnesota. You brought up the fraud and that you're looking into it. Obviously, Tim Walz is. I personally believe that a lot of this chaos is brought in as a distraction mechanism, a distraction tactic to keep our eyes off of the fraud. We were just in California and we uncovered so much fraud. All that fraud is coming from federal dollars. You probably voted, and I'm not trying to attack you here or anything, but like, man, you voted for these spending. You voted for these spending bills, a lot of them, and this HUD money, this money that's like given billions of dollars going to the homeless industrial complex in California. It's like there in order to rig elections. They're using it fraudulently. It's going to illegals. Like, will you be considering potentially like Tim Walz coming in on this, Gavin Newsom coming in on this, and like actually holding their feet to the fire on like how much fraudulent spending there is in these states?
Well, two things. One, I've actually voted against most of the appropriation bills up here in Washington. A lot of the reasons that you're talking about right now. But in terms of bringing these governors in, 100%, they have a responsibility to make sure that these dollars aren't being spent fraudulently. They do have that responsibility. But I'm also add another piece to this. And a lot of these spending bills, there's not a lot of teeth put in them for how the dollars are spent, unless you're talking about just complete full criminal activity where then you have to prosecute from the Department of Justice on wire fraud and these other issues. So I think it's twofold. Number one, should governors come in and speak on the record about what their states are not doing to protect federal tax dollars? 100%. But number two, there have to be real audit checks, real accountability measures, real eligibility requirements written into these spending bills up here in Washington, D.C. When we went through the president's agenda last summer, one big beautiful bill, listen, one of the big reasons why the Democrats were so opposed is because we put eligibility checks in SNAP. Like, think about that. Like, you have to actually be eligible. We had more eligibility checks in Medicaid, common sense stuff to try to protect the American taxpayer. And so I think, yes, whether it's Newsom, Walz, or anybody else, yeah, they should have to come in and speak on these issues. And they should have to testify under oath on these issues, because federal dollars cannot be misused. And I think state governments have a full responsibility to make sure that they're stamping out fraud anywhere that they see it, because a lot of these programs, the dollars come from the federal government, but they're administered by state government.
Yeah, it was shocking to actually learn that none of the homeless industrial complex could even survive if Trump just cut the funding. It'd be gone overnight. And it's our money, you know. It's not California liberals lighting their own money on fire. They don't have any money. It's all the federal government's money. And
you're absolutely right, Benny. That's right.
Yeah. So Gavin Newsom, okay, so you're committing to bringing in Gavin Newsom and asking about the fraud, because Americans are pissed. We're overtaxed.
I think
we're
Gavin
overworked.
should come in. I think he should come in. I think Wall should come in. I mean, heck, come on in. Tell us what you're doing and why.
Yeah, that's
right.
You know,
I think that's right. I think that's the way it should be.
Thank you, Byron. Everybody can follow Byron. He's got millions of followers, man. He's got millions of subscribers right here. He's got the great state of Florida. Ad is back. And Byron, keep rocking, man. Thank you. Godspeed.
Take it easy, Benny. See ya.
Ladies and gentlemen, Blackout Coffee, a longtime partner of the program, is what fills our cup. Everyone right here. Been talking too much. Haven't had too much time to drink my coffee this morning. Seventh cup. Yeah. It is a good way to get kick-started in the morning with your caffeine from a company that does love America, that employs Americans, that built this great company right here in the state of Florida. It is a wonderful small batch roast of coffee and a great and energetic way to start your day. It powers us, and we think that it should power you as well. For the perfect work, travel, or keep it in your desk, go to blackoutcoffee.com/Benny. Use the code Benny for 20% off your first order. That's blackoutcoffee.com/Benny to support American jobs. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for us today. We are going to be out tomorrow at again in Nashville, and I think that'll just be a one-day. I think that'll just be a one-day trip. I think we'll be back on Thursday and Friday. So much to talk about, and so very much to do. I mean, listen. Oh yeah, my team's telling me. Yeah, we got to check our. We want to preview our work with the State of the Union. What is the date for the State of the Union? It's this month. It's a couple weeks. So the State of the Union. What is Trump going to talk about at the State of the Union? What's he going to say? Here we go. Let's check the polls. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Who will attend the State of the Union? Got some high marks here. Jared Kushner, Eric Kirk, Nick Shirley, Elon Musk, Al Green, Dana White, Nicki Minaj. Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, and Tucker Carlson. Okay. Who's going to do it? We will be there. So I'm glad that we're not on this list. We will be there. That'd be insider trading. We're going to be at State of the Union. We're going to be broadcasting live. We're going to have a ton of members of Congress and a ton of members of the administration that'll be joining us. And so we're just doing a big fat preview for you right now. It's going to be a blast. The 24th of February. So in a short 3-week time turn, 24th, that's 20 days from now. So get ready. It's going to be a blast. Ladies and gentlemen, our verse of the day. Let's rock and roll. From John 16:33. In the world you will have tribulation, but take heart. I have overcome the world. The Lord has overcome all of these trials and all of this darkness and everything in the Epstein list, all of it, all of the wars, all of the attacks on our country, COVID, the riots, the darkness that you see that seems sometimes overwhelming. Christ has overcome all of it. He's defeated death itself, and that power lives within you as a little Christ, as a Christian, as a simple Christian. March with us on to victory. It's your boy, Benny. See ya.
Is it true you were a crack cocaine dealer for 7 years?
I plead the fifth.
Tell us about the cartels you dealt with in your time as a crack cocaine dealer.
No, but I can tell you that I plead the fifth.
How much money did you earn in your time as a crack cocaine dealer?
I plead the fifth. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anything you say, 5. Go ahead, ask me a question.
Did you?
Where the truth gon' be, faith and freedom on your TV screen. Stand up strong, battle through the night. The Benny Show's here, bringing liberty to light. From the speeches to debates, Benny sharp like a blade, cutting through the lies, watch the truth cascade. With the warrior's heart, this man never fades. You know it's prime time when Benny invades. From saving the nation to stories untold, the Benny Show's a storm, see the truth unfold. Stay in the loop, let freedom take hold. Salting all the libs, soul never sold. It's the Benny Show, where the truth gon' be, faith and freedom on your TV screen. Stand up strong, battle through the night. The Benny Show's here, bringing liberty to light. Liberty to light. Bringing liberty to light. Liberty to light. Bringing liberty to light. From the speeches to debates, Benny sharp like a blade, cutting through the lies, watch the truth cascade. With the warrior's heart, this man never fades. You know it's prime time when Benny invades. From saving the nation to stories untold, the Benny Show's a storm, see the truth unfold. Stay in the loop, let freedom take hold. Salting all the libs, soul never sold. It's the Benny Show, where the truth gon' be, faith and freedom on your TV screen. Stand up strong, battle through the night. The Benny Show's here, bringing liberty to light. Bringing liberty to light. Bringing liberty to light. Bringing liberty to light. Bringing liberty to light.